Hello, Saskatoon. I'm your host, Miranda Hughes-McKnight, and you are listening to Mom, I'm a Thespian on CFCR. On tonight's episode, we are talking about Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan, the wonderful festival that happens every summer down by the riverbank. The show that we're going to be talking about tonight is As You Like It, a wonderful romantic comedy. And we are going to be sitting down and chatting with the wonderful and lovely Nadia, Mori, and Sarah Bergbusch. I'm so excited to do this interview. I am actually designing costumes for the other show happening down in the tent this year, the Comedy of Errors. But I haven't gotten to see a lot about As You Like It, so I'm really excited to sit down and chat about the show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So we have the wonderful Nadia Mori.
Hi, Miranda.
Hi, Nadia. And Sarah Bergbusch.
Hi.
Hi. So the first time that I ever did a Mom, I'm a Thespian interview, I actually did it with Nadia.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was so fun. We came in and we did an interview for Boom, and Kate interviewed us, and it was so cute.
That was awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool now that I'm like, hey. Now I'm your interviewer. So we're here today talking about As You Like It. How do you guys like the show?
As you like it.
Are you guys having fun?
Yeah, definitely.
I hear there's a lot of music in the show.
Yeah, I think it's a really fun and energetic show, and the music and dance definitely adds another element to the performance and dynamic of the show, I would say. Dynamic.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Lots of bang for your buck for sure. Like there's
Totally.
dancing, music.
I love
and there's some acting too.
And some Shakespeare, you know.
I really love the fight scene, the big wrestling scene. That's one of my favorite scenes to watch and experience.
Tell us a bit about that.
It's really cool. It's a really physical scene where there's lots of fighting between three characters, and the cast makes up the ring, holding a big rope, and they create this really cool space in which to perform, and they have this really great, exciting entrance. Two of the actors get to come in together, and they sort of create one uniform body, and it looks really, really cool.
That's so cool. I guess I've seen a little bit of that because I've been working on costumes for comedy, but for Comedy of Errors, but it's been fun, like being in the costume shop and like taking a look at the costumes and seeing like the show develop. I can't wait to see a full run.
Oh my gosh, that's another component of the show, is like the costumes are just over the top, huge, massive, flamboyant. And what I love is when we go into the Forest of Arden, how there's all these animalistic people that come out, like it's the most fantabulous creatures that will emerge.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk a little bit for people who aren't familiar with this play, because it's like a pretty popular Shakespeare play, but it's not one that you necessarily study in school. What's sort of the bare bones plot, and how is it being reinterpreted this year?
Do you wanna? We can both.
Yeah, let's
speak to
piece it together.
So, it's sort of the premise of it, the way that it's sort of been twisted or changed, is that the idea is it was sort of inspired by Alice in Wonderland and the idea of dreams, and the idea is that Rosalind, the sort of main heroine, falls asleep at the beginning of the show, and all of the things that take place during the play are happening as a dream, except for the coup that happens at the beginning of the show.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe it's a dream, maybe not.
Maybe not. We don't. Yeah.
We don't know, but so the court is overthrown at the beginning of the show.
Oh, okay.
And so the people from the court are banished, and they have to move away from the court, and they go into this magical place of the Forest of Arden in exile.
Yeah.
And just before they're banished, Rosalind, the main character, she kind of falls in love with this
strapping young man.
Strapping young Orlando.
Who does the wrestling scene.
Yes.
Another added component to enjoying that scene.
Somehow defeats those amazing wrestlers, which is still kind of, I don't know how that happened. But then, she doesn't just believe in straight up falling in love.
Yeah, she's sort of more wily than that, and has to check out her potential love interest before she can really commit to giving herself to him, which is kind of a cool, like, empowering, in a way, narrative from a Shakespearean play for women.
That's true, where, like, most of the plays, it's like, I love you, the end.
Yeah,
We're
but
now
this
married.
one, she's like, let me check it out first, or, like,
Make sure
let me
I
see.
really like you.
Yeah, that's my interpretation.
Totally.
Anyway.
And, you know, in Shakespeare fashion, she decides to dress up as a man and woo him kind of indirectly as a man.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. And so the aspects of like Alice in Wonderland come out throughout the play. I guess I know a little bit about that because I've seen some of your costumes. Your costume is Phoebe.
It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's inspired by the Cheshire Cat.
Mm-hmm.
So how has that been, like, kind of approaching this character and adding like this other layer on top of that? What's that like?
I think it's been really cool because the physicality of the cat is very, like, sleek and sneaky and, like, kind of sensual sometimes. And I think that Phoebe's character is very, like, sleek and sensual and kind of selfish and, like, ambitious and independent. And so I think adding the physicality, or adding hints of physicality of a cat to the character has been interesting and yeah, like you said, it adds another layer or dynamic to the character. Yeah, I wear a big fluffy tail, which is fun to use on stage and play with, and
it's so cool. It's so bright. It's like bright pink and purple, and it's amazing. Yeah,
it's cool. And I think also, like, the character of the Cheshire Cat is kind of wily and bewitching, and that is also another element of Phoebe's character. She's supposed to be very beautiful and bewitching, and sometimes often uses her beauty to manipulate or to gain power. Which, I mean, I don't know, you have to as a woman in the Shakespearean time. That's where your power lies, I think, unless you dress up as a man, right?
Unless you dress up as a man.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. And then Nadia, you're playing Audrey.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is the Alice in Wonderland character?
The March Hare.
March Hare.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, it always amazes me, like, the stuff we get to research in preparation for a piece. So as of late, I was watching rabbit behavior with just to get some inspiration and ideas to play with.
That's amazing.
So,
what did you find? Did you find any treasures in your research?
Some. Like, apparently the rabbit can lay down like a loaf when he or she is happy. So I tried to incorporate that at one point.
That's funny.
And I think what was a kind of a delicious challenge with Audrey, the way that it was sort of directed in the play was, she's very like, I like you, I'm gonna get you. Like, I'm just gonna be very unsubtle about that and just lay it on very, very spoonful, heapfuls. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so, you know, it just takes some putting yourself out there in a kind of bold, blah kind of fashion.
Oh, that's awesome. It sounds like you've been, like, super brave just going in there and throwing this all out there. Has it been scary at all to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, you should have seen my face in rehearsal sometimes, but it's good. It's good. Like
What was-
lots of growth happening.
What was the scariest part about that?
The scariest part was to learn some pole dancer moves.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's a fun scene.
And I love how Audrey she doesn't do it to excel at the move. She just does it in what she believes the move
Right.
should be to make it real.
I love that.
Stick to the guy.
That's hilarious. Did you go to a pole studio and like learn some moves, or did you just look them up and try them out, or?
Well, it turns out one of the other cast members, Jamie Lee, has actually, I believe, taught pole dancing. So
Very cool.
she gave me a little tutorial, and
That's so cool.
YouTube.
It's great, right? You learn so much. on
It's
YouTube.
amazing. Yes.
So I was thinking about rabbits, and because you brought them up, and when we came on site today, I saw this adorable rabbit. What is it like
my
being
gosh.
down here, like on site? Like, does that
Yes.
sort of stuff happen all the time, or?
The other day, there was a big goose that walked right, like, onto the actor's deck by the trailer, and it was, like, kind of hissing at people and,
no.
just kind of monopolizing that space, which is pretty funny. And I've heard some of the other actors mention that, like, skunks come up to the fence sometimes,
no.
and, like, I remember last year there was this like trap I had to go in on the stage, and a cat had brought like a dead animal in there, and it
No.
smelled like a rotting animal. So I don't know,
my
I think
God.
we're close to nature, and that's fun and and an interesting, I wouldn't say challenge, but it's like an interesting element to incorporate into.
It's another layer.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know.
That's cool.
It was funny to have that goose there. We had to call, I think Aaron Shingoose called animal control or something. But
oh, the best ASM. Aaron Shingoose. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing. The whole team
Yeah.
is amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really cool. It's a cool team to be a part of for sure.
Mhm.
What are you guys most looking forward to in the run?
I would say for Audrey, she gets to do some audience interaction, which is always such a wild card. You know, like you have no
Absolutely.
idea. Are they gonna want to play with you or not?
Yeah.
And it'll be different, like wildly different every night. So that one is both very scary and very exciting.
Well, you have such a lovely, like, charming personality, and you just charm audiences. So I'm sure it'll be amazing.
Mhm.
But have you done a lot of audience participation in shows before, or is this like a purely like new thing?
I've done some. I mean, I loved, like, you were talking about Boom, where we got
Yes.
to work together. And, I mean, it wasn't so much audience interaction, but really talking to the audience, like, straight into their face. And I really felt myself loving that part. So I do prefer when it's scripted, for sure, because then you have something to stand on. But yeah, I mean, it's all part of the growth, right? So
Oh, that's so exciting.
yeah, I'm
That's
really
so cool.
really looking forward to it. And being in the character, and I mean, Audrey has so many layers that she gets to put on, so I really feel like Audrey can do whatever the heck she wants. So I can, let's see what I can get away with.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's
I
really
love
fun.
it. How about you, Sarah?
I think I'm excited about just the audience enjoying the spectacle of As You Like It. We have lots of like the costumes and lots of beautiful, fun, energetic dancing and singing, and so I think, yeah, I'm excited for the audience to enjoy the spectacle of the show because it's a big spectacle show. Yeah.
That's so cool. It's amazing that's happening in a tent on the riverbank. Like when you think about like how much work has to go into making this space like a theater, and like the lights and the costumes and all the actors coming down here. You're totally right. It totally is a spectacle.
Yeah, and you're so right, Sarah. Like, especially at the end, I hope the audience will I think they will walk out feeling very uplifted and celebratory and maybe singing the tune that we put in their ear.
Yeah, like really energized and happy and uplifted. Yeah,
I think so.
Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, that's wonderful. You guys are both so just like lovely. We're sitting here in this trailer. We're like, that's the other part of this. There's like all of these trailers everywhere. So we're doing this little interview in a little trailer on site. What's been like one of the challenges of being outside and performing? Have you come up with anything yet? Like come up against something yet in rehearsals, or is there something you're worried about going forward? Like, what are the challenges being on site?
I think for me as an actor, I have a soft voice, and so trying to remembering to project in the tent and fill the tent with my voice is something I need to think about and remember, especially when it's raining.
Right.
Because it's really loud when it rains. So yeah, I think keeping that in mind of like vocal support and breath and things like that.
Which is like always important, but now you're here and there's like wind and branches and rain and stuff and competing with that. Yeah, totally. Well, you're gonna kill it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like not blowing yourself out while doing that effort, you know, both vocally and physically. I feel like it's easy to get carried away in the action or in like your character's needs and wants, and I just had a painful run-in lesson with that the other day. And I think
what happened?
Well, we were doing a run of the show of As You Like It, and I in a very silly move pulled a muscle in my calf.
Oh no.
And you know, the show must go on, but I just was so upset with myself that it even happened, and surprised that it happened. I was like, why?
You know what? Those injuries happen because you get so caught up in the moment and you lose track of yourself, and like you're trying to give 110%. Yeah. It's a very physical thing too.
So I think the lesson for me as an actor is like, if you feel you're warmed up, maybe just do another round of warm up. You know, like just really take so much care of yourself, and even like vocally too, like the vocal fatigue, like be really conscious of that and just do extra good things to yourself in that time.
Oh, that's intense. It's a lot of work, like what you guys are doing and like throwing yourselves into it. I think too it's like the two show thing, like does that ever come into play? Like do you guys ever get like confused, like which show am I in, or is it pretty easy?
I don't ever get confused because the shows are so different this year. But I think sometimes I feel like I'm like, I wish we just had more time to rehearse something or work on something. But I think the ensemble is really strong, and so it's all coming together great. But nice. I always am like, we could rehearse more. You know?
Yeah.
But that's like any show I've done. I feel that way.
For sure.
Yeah. I think now that we're doing the same show the whole day, it's easier, you can get deeper into it. I felt like sometimes when we did, because we used to always switch back and forth, like do one show in the morning, do the other show in the afternoon.
Right.
And sometimes, you know, you would work in the morning and you would feel like very close to maybe discovering something, and you're like, no, I'm not ready to switch.
And all of a sudden you're like, okay, different show.
But yeah, like Sarah said, you know, usually it's not too big of an issue because they're so different, and the characters we play in them are so vastly different. Like different genders and things like that, you know?
That's awesome. What would you say to someone who's like maybe on the fence? They're like, I don't know, I might go to Shakespeare this year. What would you say to them about As You Like It?
I think I would say that sometimes it feels intimidating to go to a Shakespeare show because you feel like you won't understand what's happening. But I think everybody has worked really hard to create clarity in the storytelling that we are doing. And also that it's really fun because it's like kind of a musical also. you get a bit of Shakespeare, you get a bit of musical. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, that's
It's
really
a fun
cool.
show.
Yeah, that's true. And it's sort of like another way of telling the story. So maybe if you're not like the biggest Shakespeare fan, it's like another way to interact with the story, maybe.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for As You Like It, like even whether you like Shakespeare or not, it's so different. I mean, we took the spin of Alice in Wonderland on it, so I really don't think you're gonna feel like you're watching Shakespeare. Like after the first 5 minutes or so, you're gonna be totally somewhere else.
Yeah.
I feel. And you're gonna think like, oh my gosh, I'm at this musical concert, or what's happening now? What's going on now? I think it really transports you so fast that I wouldn't worry about, oh my gosh, I don't know Shakespeare, I haven't studied Shakespeare, like I don't understand these words, because like Sarah said, you know, people, even if you didn't understand English, I think you would still get the gist of what is going on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when's the last time you've seen a show in a tent on the Saskatchewan River?
Yeah.
Like, it's
It's a really
just an
cool
experience for that.
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's a good point.
totally, and you got lots of time to come and see it. So
Yeah.
I would fit it in. I would fit it in your summer plan.
Would you say it's like a romantic show? Like if you were like gonna go on a date with someone, would you take them to this show?
Totally, because
Yeah.
everybody gets married at the end. Everybody finds love in some way, for Shake,
Yeah.
or for, and all kinds of different types of love.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
true. That's a good point.
It's like different
All
relationships,
different kinds of
different
love.
dynamics.
Yeah.
Even Phoebe and Sylvius end up together.
Yeah.
Even though
Reluctantly.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's like, whether I die or be with
Yeah, she's
Phoebe,
like-
it's the same.
He's like,
Oh, wow.
marrying Phoebe is like death. That's basically what it is
Oh my
like.
god, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the romantic lovers. There's
The reluctant lover.
the reluctant lover, the sexual lovers,
yeah.
the same-sex lovers.
Yeah, very eclectic.
There's
Oh wow, that's so many couples.
something for everybody.
Yeah.
Are you guys romantics at heart? Are you like, oh yay, love?
It depends on the
No.
day.
Yeah.
Full disclosure.
Yeah.
Somebody once told me, especially when you're married for longer periods of time, love is like a flame. Sometimes it's like a big oil rig flare, and sometimes it's like a candle that's
candle.
almost burning out, but then it comes back. It just
Oh, that's nice.
it goes through
Yeah.
cycles, and
Oh,
that's
that's
normal.
lovely.
That's human.
That's amazing. I'm like, we're ending this show with like the best love life advice.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
That's lovely.
new spin-off. We're gonna have a new show. It's just Nadia talking about romance. That sounds great.
Sign me up, sure.
How about you, Sarah? Are you like romantic at heart?
I don't think I am. I think right now in my life, independence is really important to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think I'm very romantic, actually. I think I'm very practical about love and things like that.
Do you feel like that's like giving you like an interesting way to like view romantic relationships and come into this role, or do you feel like there's like stuff that you like use from that attitude, or?
Yeah, I think in some ways, like, Phoebe, in some ways, he is practical. Like, she's got this
yeah.
guy who's chasing her, and then she's kind of like, he won't leave me alone, so I'm gonna use him to get what I want, which I wouldn't it's not a very nice thing to do, but, like, it's practical, maybe. I don't know. I don't think Phoebe's very romantic in, like, yeah, I don't think that character is very
Right.
buys into romance. I think, like, she doesn't seem very interested until she meets that fateful day she meets that man in the forest and then is in love with him. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, no,
but
you don't want to give too much away. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she. Yeah, I think she's not very romantic, but then it kind of surprises her.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
it comes out of nowhere, Sarah. Sure.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'll experience that someday in real life.
Just joking. Sorry.
What about you? Are you a romantic at heart?
Oh, I am a romantic at heart, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes too much.
That's nice.
Okay, awesome. Thanks you guys so much for an amazing interview. Thanks for going on this random journey with me. It was really fun.
It was a
to
lovely
hang out
journey.
in this trailer and have a good laugh. Yeah, thanks you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. That was fun.
All right, and that's it for tonight's episode. If you would like more information, you can go to shakespearesask.com or go down to the site down by the river, go to the box office, and get your tickets for As You Like It or The Comedy of Errors. So As You Like It opens July 5th and runs to August 18th. I'm your host, Miranda Hughes-McKnight, and you've been listening to Mom, I'm a Thespian on CFCR. Bye.